Yo, what's up? This your boy Derek Branch here, Strike7Sports.com. This is another episode of Strike 7 Sports Podcast. I'm joined by my co-host, Brian Leildon Seabury. This is another episode of Strike 7 Sports Podcast. So we're gonna open it up tonight with what went down in the NBA between the Memphis Grizzlies and the New Orleans Pelicans. The Pelicans were able to win this game over the Grizzlies in overtime. The Grizzlies are now 73 in their last 10 games, but still in second place in the West, and they've won the Southwest Division. But I want to ask y'all. I've been noticing online a lot of chatter among the Grizzlies Twitter about them winning games despite them, pretty much locking up, at least having home field in the first two rounds of the playoffs. And people look kind of concerned because of them possibly playing the Lakers or probably hosting the Warriors if they drop to the third seed. But I want to ask y'all, does it really matter who they play right now in the playoffs?
Uh, I think
Go ahead, Leah. Go ahead, Leah.
I'll take it first. For the Grizzlies, yeah, it matters because like certain teams, like with the Warriors, I think every team that the Grizzlies can play presents challenges and potential flaws and faux pas. But I feel like certain teams you can hide that. I think if they play the Pelicans, yeah, it'll be tough, but I think they can beat them. Like, cause I don't think like with the Ja Morant playing, I think that's a difference maker in that series. No, not disrespect them and the Clippers, but like the Lakers, Warriors teams with loaded star power. Like, I mean, the Pelicans have a good team, but they don't have. And Brandon Ingram is a star, but like I, I, I would go like if we were ranking the stars, I would go with the Warriors stars, Lakers stars, and Clipper stars. Then I get the Pelicans. But um, I think from a knowing how to win standpoint, it's certain teams that though they don't match up with, like the Warriors knowing how to win in the playoffs. The
Right.
like, like the Lakers haven't won a championship. Clippers haven't made the conference finals. They just don't have the experience. That's the really one thing you can't compete with experience sometimes, and especially when you have you're such a when you're such a whatchamacallit, you're such a you know, a young team. And so I think the Lakers definitely are a team that they wouldn't want to see.
Okay. Good, Brian.
Yeah, the playoffs are all about matchups. So if you get the right matchups, and obviously ultimately you have to be a good team, but you get the right matchup, you can make a deep run. If you get the wrong matchup, you can lose in the first round. So obviously they're gonna get the 2 seed. So that's what they can control, but they can't control what happens, who they're gonna play in the first round. So just give it everything you got. The half court offense has gotten better. That was probably one of their big weaknesses. Before the All-Star break, it's gotten better after it. But ultimately, it's all about the matchup they play in the first round. Like me and Leo were talking about on Twitter. If they play the Lakers, I like the Lakers in 6. But anyone else, I think they could beat. I'd probably give the edge to the Warriors, but the Warriors have been off on the road, so I could see the Grizzlies winning that maybe in 7.
All right, so I just want to ask y'all this question as well. So let's just say, all right, you remain the 2 seed, right? You not slave off, but you hold off Sacramento from getting the 2 seed. Lakers get the 7 seed. You play the Lakers in the 7 game series in the playoffs. And if they do lose to the Lakers, how would you view this season? It's a disappointment or just another step towards growing?
Well, you'd view it as a disappointment because your goal is uh, maybe to make to the finals and maybe, or at least conference finals, and maybe even win it all. So anything that doesn't involve that would be kind of a disappointment. But it all depends on how they lose. If they lose and they just the Lakers ended up being better, it will be disappointing, but you got beat by the better team. But if they lose and they were just awful and they feel like they could have played better, then that's something that they'll have to think about going into the offseason. What could have been.
What you got, Leo?
I'm a really pessimistic, but I say it's still a successful season because they're still very young. And you also have to understand they've won their second consecutive division championship, like you said, number a
Mm-hmm.
top two seed for the second straight year. Now, a team can get hot at the right time. And if the Lakers are playing, the Lakers they play with Lakers or somebody, and they're right at hot at the right time, and they just get beat. You can live with that. Your core is really young. You're going, you never know how many times you're gonna get back to that spot. But I would take a very good opportunity. I think it's very going to be lots of opportunities with the core that they have to get back to where they are, even if they were to lose in the first round. So I'll say it wouldn't be a disappointment. I'd say it'd be more of a letdown because, like Brian said, they did lose to the Warriors last year in their second round. It was kind of, and a lot of people talk about this unfinished business that they have to take care of. But losing in the first round, that's not take care of anything. But I wouldn't say this the season. It was a failure, but I'd say it'd be a letdown.
Let down. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So, Mike, I would say this is my last question on this topic right here. So, are we still in? Are we still in the Grizzlies are overachieving phase of this current roster? Or are we still, or we consider them contenders in the West? Because this guy has been here since 2019, pre-pandemic.
I think this will maybe be a season where they got a reality check or where they're at, and they'll have to add some more pieces if they want to be where they ultimately want to be. But yeah, the first few seasons with Ja, they overachieved. That's undeniable. This year, you can make a case they underachieved, but it all depends on who they lose to. If they lose to a team that maybe they should beat, then it'll be disappointing. But if you lose to a team that's better than you, even if it's just right now, then you got to live with that.
All right. Leo, you got anything?
I just feel that, oh, like you said, it's just really a matchup situation. And another thing too, um, if they lose the series, they'll play a lot of Steven Adams not having him, cause not having him, I ain't gonna lie, like I thought he was just a role player, just a regular role player, but he actually is from a statistical standpoint, and he's a very important card of their offense. And I could see them struggling with him, initiating him back into the offense, considering he's been out so long, and it might be kind of awkward, and it might take they might give up a game or two in the playoffs to get him, maybe probably a game, probably take it to get a filling out process, and so it might take a couple of games. So if they want to lose a series off, trying to, force a fit, I don't know how I feel about this, but it's all about matchups and everything. And I wouldn't be so quick to say they, had a disappointment, but at the same time, it would just be a blow to this team. Think about it, you already have the Tigers lose in the first round in their tournament.
Yeah.
This just would be a blow to. It kind of would be like another punch in the gut to the city, if that makes sense.
A punch to the city. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this, man. Close it out. I'm not going. I think this is in my opinion. I just think that they'll probably be they'll be probably playing against the Lakers in the first round. I'm not going to give out a prediction just yet, but I think the Grizzlies can beat the Lakers in a 7-game series. Um, but I always point to the game they had on that Friday night a few months ago where that Shannon Sharp incident took place and all this other stuff went down. They can't play like that. They were clearly in control of that game and just fumbled it away in that that second half. They can't lose their composure. You gotta keep your foot on the next of the Lakers to put them away. And it would help. I'm not speaking injury on him, but if AD can possibly miss a few games, that helps as well. They just got to capitalize on it. But I think they can beat the Lakers in the 7-game series. They just cannot allow what they allowed. They cannot allow what they have done in the last. I would say the few games that you see them playing that they lose, they blow a lot of these leads in the second half. They can't do that. They got to play defense. They got to be consistent when it comes to scoring in the second half. Rebounding is important. That's where I think they miss Steven Adams at. Rebound. They losing some size by not having him on the court. So, but I think they can beat the Lakers. But I'm not gonna give all the predictions just yet. It's just the matchup, man. It's just the Lakers just playing on a different level right now, man. And I'm not gonna dismiss what they're doing. Just to be honest, to be real with you. So we'll see how everything play out, man. But it's I won't say it's a disappointment. It won't be a disappointing season. I just think it just be a letdown, man. It just the Lakers made the right moves at the trade deadline, and they had to because they were pretty much playing their their faith in the playoffs was at risk. So they had to do something. Some people may say that it's rigged and all that, but it is what it is, man. So we'll see. All right, moving right along. We're gonna talk about the latest Cam Newton story, man. Now I find it interesting that we was talking about this a few weeks ago and how Newton should accept a backup role and he would be on our NFL roster. We did say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So today, when I guess he was on his podcast and he was saying that he's still, Newton said he's still better than 32 QBs in the league. So let's go ahead and play the audio of what he said on that segment.
Saying, this is how I feel. There ain't 32 guys that's better than me. But I also know that I could also be a backup. And I'm willing to be a backup. Players that I will back up. Number one, I'll back up Deshaun Watson. It goes without saying, me and Deshaun Watson's relationship, he was on my 707 All-Star team. I've grown to admire the person, the athlete that he is, going through a lot of turmoil. But I believe that's behind him. My number two person would be wherever Lamar Jackson decides to go. Number three will be Justin Fields, another C1N product. Number four will be Tua Tagovailoa. Number five would be Malik Willis, another C1N all-star representative. And I would say there's three rookie quarterbacks that I would love or enjoy to groom. Any of these rookie quarterbacks, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson. Any one of those guys, I would be happy to back those guys up. Who we got? Number 7, Jalen Hurts. Number 8 would be Aaron Rodgers. Number 9 would be Josh Allen. And number 10 would be Sam Howell, another C1N alumni. But when you think about the list, it's really to the point. Now, some of those guys may already have penciled in backups that the franchise is probably okay with, and that's fine. I'm just voicing my opinion, and I'm just getting the narrative out.
All right, so there you have it. Those are the words of quarterback Cam Newton, who's now stating that he's willing to be a backup in the NFL and in an effort to get back into the National Football League. So, just want to ask y'all, what are your thoughts on that? Where would be the best fit for him as a backup right now?
Well, first of all, let me just one point you already said. He said before he was willing to be a backup. He just never had said it clearly like this. In that clip you just played, he went specifically into it. And so, yeah. So the best fit To answer your question though, I'm not gonna lie, he's one of those rookie quarterbacks.
Mm.
And I say that not because he's gonna be a mentor. Like he wants to be a coach. Like you want to be a coach, you want to be like a Josh. You want to phase in the Josh McCown part 2 or something like the coaching wise. Show that you can groom one of these quarterbacks, like a Stroud. And I'm pretty sure that he genuinely would want to see somebody like a Stroud, like a Richardson, or even like a young cat like a Sam Howell to see. I think, but overall, so if I want to say whoever gets like CJ Stroud, that's what I'm gonna say, or Anthony Richardson, because that's who also a lot of people compare him to. Anthony Richardson, Cam Newton. That's a lot of his comparisons. Josh Allen. So shoot, if he goes, let's just say Richardson goes to the Colts. I mean, even though they have Gardner Minshew as their backup, but shoot, I wouldn't mind having Cam too. But I mean, that's just hypothetically. I would say whoever Anthony Richardson goes.
So what if he goes to Carolina? What if Stroud goes to Carolina? What if he
He's
goes to
not going back
Carolina?
there for. He's not going back there for a third time.
But he said CJ Stroud.
Oh,
Well,
yeah, Brian.
yeah, I was gonna say he may want to get back there, but I don't think the Panthers want back. They already signed Andy Dalton, and it's just I feel like ideally that's who you want to back up, but the team will have to want you too. I hope the team can give him a shot, training camp opportunity, and hopefully he can play some preseason game, show what he got, what he has, and take it from there. But if Cam isn't on a roster, I won't be surprised. I'm gonna go as far as say this: if he's on a roster, week 1, I'll be surprised at this point. But we'll see.
All right. You got anything else to add, Leo?
Nah,
I mean, to me, from if he wants to go somewhere where he can compete for a championship, I think his best spot would be Philadelphia. Cam, I think that offense is tailor made for him to succeed in. Tennis, he say Malik Willis, but he just completely forgot about Ryan Tannehill, huh? I guess.
Yeah.
uh, Green Bay. Well, whoever. I guess if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, I guess he could be backing up Aaron Rodgers, and Zach Wilson would be QB 3? He'd be competing with Zach Wilson for the QB2 job. So that's another spot I think he was succeed in, and Chicago wouldn't be bad. Going with playing with the Bears wouldn't be a bad idea, But Lamar shoot in Baltimore shoot, he might, the way it's looking, he might have a chance to start again. What y'all think about that?
Yeah, I would like his chances. Arizona's another one. I don't know if you mentioned it. Arizona, I would like him with the Titans too. Those are the 3 teams that come to mind. But yeah, Baltimore, they definitely should be trying to sign a really good. I'm surprised they haven't re-signed Tyler Huntley, but they definitely should sign a good insurance policy in case Lamar holds out or you trade him. You need to get a veteran in there.
All right, yeah, but other than that, man, I think if this is the road, this is the path he wants to take. I want to see. It's going to be interesting to see how many teams is going to reach out to him. Now that he's came out with these remarks, but hope he gets onto a roster, man. Gets onto a roster, get an opportunity to play in some preseason games and show everybody what he's about, because ain't no way he should not be in the league right now. Ain't no way, in my opinion. He should be in the league somewhere. Somebody's backup. He could mentor a lot of quarterbacks, man. And I think we'll have a lot of that going on right now. So we'll see everything play out. All right, man. Moving right along, man. We're gonna talk about this NBA finals, 10 possible matchups in the NBA, an upcoming NBA finals this season. So the list I came up with was 10 of them. So we got Warriors versus Celtics, Suns versus Bucks, Lakers versus Celtics, Grizzlies versus Celtics, Lakers versus Bucks, Warriors versus Bucks, Sixers Grizzlies, Clippers Sixers, Nuggets versus Bucks, Suns Cavaliers. So I want to ask y'all, which one of these will be like out of the 10? Which matchup we could possibly see? Matchups can we see?
I'll go Grizzlies, Celtics. I like that headline. I mentioned
Yeah.
that. Sixers, Grizzlies. Did you mention that one too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see that one, or I could see that happening. And then Bucks Suns would be interesting. And then do you have Celtic Warriors again?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Then ultimately, the one I love to see because I'm a Laker fan, Celtics Lakers would be nice to see again.
For me, there's several matchups. There were several matchups that really stood out. So, like, I took a thorough, like, they just do with your artists, you do a very thorough job. So I took a thorough look, and as I observed all 10 of those matchups, thinking, I was thinking like three really stuck out to me. It was three big ones in this. I was like, okay, number one, the Bucks Lakers. That one, think about it. You got you got a veteran team in the Milwaukee. You got a veteran, with a bunch of young cats on the side, but veteran, top heavy veteran team in the Lakers. And LeBron versus Giannis, people want to see that. I'm not gonna lie, like that would be one superstar on the way out versus another superstar, still reaching
Yeah.
the prime. That was really the first one that that caught my eye. But then I'm not gonna lie, the other one that really caught my mind, which even though it's the home team making it, Sixers Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson Jr., Joel Embiid, like the battle of the bigs, and the guard, you got James Harden and John Morant, like that. Like you can't beat that either. So that's that was another thing because inside outside matchups in that series would really get people excited and I was that might be the one that I hope I see if we don't see it because I think the Sixers make it if we don't see the Lakers versus in that's the one I also see. And the last one, but not least, I wasn't thinking about the Suns Cavs, but I was like, yeah, it's not. Yeah, you have stars, but it's not the glamour matchup. The glamour matchup. But last, y'all gonna be surprised by this one, but y'all may not be. Was the Warriors book?
Warriors
Also,
are
you got who's gonna how Giannis is gonna get Draymond, how Draymond that's gonna be the guy, that's gonna be the guy that's guarding Giannis the whole series. And then that's hypothetically. Steph, Drew Holiday, Clay Middleton. It's about as even of matchups as you can get in terms of, yeah, one team might have a better, shooting the ball. You might have a better edge there, but it's about as even of a matchup as you're gonna get. So I would really, be eager to see any three of those possibilities.
okay. All right. So for me, man, I really like that Grizzlies versus Celtics finals, man, because I think that's a really good storyline. Is the small market versus the big market. John Morant, the Grizzlies will be in that. They'll play that Detroit Pistons, bad boy role, going up against the historical franchise, the blue blood franchise with all championships. I would like to see that. And if I don't think it would happen, but if Memphis was to take down the Celtics, that would be a big time upset, in my opinion. I like Warriors versus Bucks. I also like Lakers versus Celtics. I saw that already. Not back in the 80s, but I saw that for the first time in the 2010s when they played each other To the one in 2008 and the one that came up in 2010. I saw those two rival games. The second matchup rematch of that whole thing during that time was pretty good when it went 3-3 with Kobe Bryant was still here, but that would be pretty good. And on one that I didn't put on the list was Sixers versus Lakers. I think they played each other in the 70s back in the day in the finals. So that would be really good. But I think those are we can see those are the games that we can see in the finals, man. I think Cleveland can get in there and play possibly Phoenix, man. Phoenix, Suns. Did I put Suns? I don't think I put Suns versus Celtics on that. That would be a really good finals too. So we'll just gotta see how it play out, man. But it's getting close to popping off in a few weeks from here. We'll be in the NBA playoffs. So I'm gonna close it out, man. But I wasn't gonna mess with it tonight, but I'm gonna close it out with the Angela Reese situation. She said no to First Lady Jill Biden in her invite to the White House after she kind of backtracked the whole remark of having Iowa and LSU at the White House. They invited the White House to go see the president and all that. So just want to get your thoughts on that, man. I think Angela was wrong for her to not accept Ms. Biden's apology.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. The only issue I had was the part when she said, "We'll go to the Obamas." I mean, I understand where she was coming from, but to me, this whole thing kind of was blown up more than it really needed to be. That's the way I look at it. I've listened to a lot of other people have to say about it, but yeah, I'm fine with if it could just end, to be honest, and just move on. But the one that I'll say is next college basketball season, and on the women's side, it's going to be very, very interesting. That's the one thing I can say.
Kind of eyeballs. You got Leo.
That's been something that I've been wanting to talk about with you all. And like y'all's name, having women's basketball, somebody who covers women's basketball, they just understands, the mentality behind these players. People just think these players like they just think these players don't have, what's the word?
Emotion.
No, a sense of pride. Like, because if she felt disrespected, that you first insinuated, just like me, just like you having just like a girl having two choices. You're one of the guys that she can choose, and she chooses both of y'all, but then she decides to choose this you. Like, come on now, like I wasn't sure this your primary choice, so like you initially that's probably how. And people were trying to say, the White House spokesman were trying to say that she meant that LSU should just have by themselves, and then maybe Iowa could come separately. That's not what you meant. You meant to have both, just say both of them be there at the same time. And I don't blame Angel Reese for feeling that way because as a black women, a lot on their shoulders in terms, being deaf, stereotypes against and all that. And this all fed into that decision. And I just feel that I don't mind them saying that she's not, that they don't want to go. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. But I don't know why she did go to the Obamas because the Obamas don't win either. So I mean, really nobody picked y'all to win except for yourselves if you keep it in the book. So I don't know how you say the Obamas, but I get the point.
Okay. That's all you got?
Yo.
All right, man. I'll just see it as this, man. Look, I mean, I'm pretty sure that, Miss Biden, the Biden family knows how this goes. They've been around, they've been around, White House, Washington, politics for a long time. So this has never happened before. Like a Super Bowl loser never goes to the White House. The NBA Finals loser never goes to the White House. the college football national champion, loser never goes to the White House. So I don't know, man. I guess she just kind of felt, compelled to do that. I don't know why, but it's just this stuff just been blown out of proportion, man. I can't believe we turned this into a race war, in my opinion, over a gesture that players in the NFL have done a whole bunch of times. They've done it in the NBA, all kind of sports, and we've turned this into an issue based on what one account said, one social media account said, got viral like that. Because if that one account didn't say that, nobody wouldn't even be talking about this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this stuff has just been, in my opinion, it was brewing all week. It was brewing on Friday. It started on Friday with what Dawn Staley said. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
people were saying, well, why the commentators showing all his emotions for Caitlin Clark compared to, the LSU players or South Carolina players when they score buckets. It just all this meaningless stuff that, that shouldn't even matter. But it's neither here nor there, man. But this stuff was brewing for a while, man. And I'm just kind of mad that it's taken away from the game. And I don't like that. I don't like the fact that this has to be used to bring ratings and attention to the women's basketball game. I just don't. But that's what the people want to do. Can't tell them how to, think, and they can't tell me how to feel about it. But that's how I feel about it. I didn't have a problem with what Caitlin Clark did, and I don't have a problem with what Angela Reese did. To be honest with you, and I really don't have a problem with a lot of trash talking athletes too. I didn't have an issue with what John Morant said about them being fine in the West. So if you talk all the trash, just be ready to bag it up on the court. That's just my thing. Y'all got any final thoughts? We're under 5 minutes.
Yeah, I just agree with the part about if you're gonna talk that talk, you better walk that walk.
What you mean disagree with it? That's what I mean. It's true.
No, I said I agree with it.
Okay, yeah. All right. Anything else, Leo?
Nah, I just feel that Angel Reese is and like she's and Kayla Clark, they're both great players. Like
Yeah.
and wow, yeah, people crazy people in women's basketball. This type of game. They might have to, LSU. I can see LSU playing Iowa next year, like in an early season game or whatnot. Like this is gonna be big for this is gonna be big for college women's basketball. Um, even though it's this rivalry, it's not like they're making this a rivalry out of something out of nothing. Yeah. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's big for the sport. Even it's big for the sport. It's big for
Yes.
the ratings. People are gonna watch. Like you may not know who Kate. Like you don't know who Angel Reese is. People gonna know who Angel Reese is who didn't know who Angel Reese was before Sunday. Even though she's one of the best players in the world in terms of women's basketball, like in the world, she's one of the best. And people know who Caitlin Clark is, so it's just gonna make ratings big. I understand the media sensation that is Caitlin Clark because she's very good, but I was on one. My taking away point is I'm happy that people like the Jasmine Carsons of the world, the Alexis Morrises of the world. These are young women who I think LaChasa Williams. I don't want to disrespect, but I don't want to discuss her name. These are three of those players that put up 20 plus points, and these women have pro opportunity now because of this game. They got to put like it's the stories like that, like Jasmine Carson from Memphis. This is a Memphis girl who went to two other schools before she found her way at LSU, and found her way to LSU and was able to get her a shot. And we saw what she did with it. So I'm happy for those small stories too that came up out of it and like obviously the promotion of the game, of the women's game as a whole.
Yeah, I agree with that. I wish a lot more attention was focused on that story. With the girl from Memphis, that came up big. I don't think we've heard a lot from the Memphis networks on that story. But the young lady put up the 20 points. But
Mhm.
hopefully, man, this could be used. The positive side of this is that it's going to grow. It's going to grow the game of college basketball. It's going to grow the game of the WNBA. Hopefully, the WNBA can get more eyeballs to get put on the WNBA because of this. So we'll see how everything plays out. But it was good Final Four. Outside of the controversy, it was a good women's Final Four overall. So we'll see how it play out. All right, that's all we got for y'all for right now, man. Give us a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let us know how you feel. If you listen to this through Apple or Spotify, give us a 5-star rating, leave a review. Tell us how you feel about the topics we talked about tonight. Also, give us a like, comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we'll be back next week. And I'll be back throughout the week talking about more NFL, NBA, and Memphis sports-related topics on this channel. Have a blessed night. Peace. We out.